Network Sonar Discovery is a quick way to add nodes in Orion, and certainly the most common way. But you can also add nodes manually, and there are several reasons you might want or need to do so. For starters, it's the quickest way to start monitoring a new node on the network, rather than waiting for an automated discovery job to find it. Or it may be that you have a single node you need to monitor that sits on a network outside your discovery range, like a single server in a remote office. If that's the only node you'll be monitoring in that office, maybe you don't want to create a discovery job or add a larger discovery range to an existing job. Or maybe the discovery job just can't find the node because of high latency or because the node won't respond to a ping. Another huge reason for manually adding a node is that you have tremendous control over how that node will be monitored, more so than when the node is found as part of a discovery job. So there are a variety of reasons you might find yourself adding nodes manually. To manually add a node, select the Add Node link. First, enter the IP address of the node. Choose the polling method. One of the advantages of adding a node manually versus adding a node through a Network Sonar Discovery job is that you get complete control over how that node will be monitored, including the polling method used. With Network Sonar Discovery, there's a hierarchy to the polling method assignment. It's ICMP first, then SNMP, then WMI. And the majority of the time that's just fine, but you may have certain nodes that you want to monitor differently, like a Windows server that you only want to monitor for up-down status. Adding the node manually gives you that control. So I'll choose the SNMP and ICMP polling method and then assign a credential. With Network Sonar Discovery, the credentials are tested in the order they're listed in the job settings, and the first credential the node accepts will be the credential used. But when adding a node manually, you get to pick the credential. Test the credential. After clicking Next, Orion will authenticate the node and run a discovery to find the interfaces, volumes, and resources that are available to monitor. The discovered resources will list all of the elements that are available to monitor. Out of the box, Orion will automatically provide a list of selected resources to monitor based on the device type. However, it is ultimately up to you to decide what you want to monitor. If this were an application server, you could then select the application monitors, but it is not, so we will skip over that. The Change Properties window gives you the ability to add custom properties to the device, such as polling frequency, device details, and alerting thresholds. When you're all done, simply click Add Node, and the node will be added to the database. So, let's summarize. Network Sonar Discovery is great for broad sweep discovery. However, it doesn't give you the same granularity and control over your monitoring that adding nodes manually does. And that makes a difference when it comes to cost, performance, and the metrics you're going to see. So if you have a particular node you want to monitor a certain way, you should add it manually. If you don't, and the node was added by a discovery job, you can always edit the properties of the node after the fact, and you'll still have all the same options for custom monitoring available to you. But if you do add a node manually, I'd recommend that you still include that node IP in one of your discovery job ranges. That way, when the discovery job runs, it will look for additions to the node, like new interfaces or volumes. And don't worry about your custom settings, because manual settings will never be overwritten by automated processes. In other words, the discovery job won't mess up your custom monitoring. And that way, you get sort of the best of both worlds, the complete control of adding nodes manually and the ongoing change detection of scheduled discovery jobs.